Hello and welcome to the very first edition of Renaissance Weekly. So glad you could join us. For those who do not know what the Renaissance Club is, it is a non-profit rehabilitation clubhouse for adults with mental illnesses. We are your co-anchors. I'm Michael D'Annunzio, and this is Michael Closey. Hello, Mike. What do we have on the show today?
Hello, Mike. Glad you asked. Today on the show, we have my interview with Rent Club member and political expert Jim Shaw about the Massachusetts ballot questions and our next president, Donald Trump.
Fantastic. We also are going to have my interview with Rent Club member Kelly Sievert.
But first, we've got our weather report from our very own weatherman, Walter Velligore. Walter, let's go with the weather.
Thanks, Mike. Here's this week's weather report. Monday, partly cloudy, high of 58, low of 36. Tuesday, partly cloudy, high of 58, low of 39. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, high of 56, low of 38. Thursday, scattered showers, high 55, low of 37. And Friday, mostly sunny, high 55 and low of 39. Now back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Walter.
Today is November 14th, and if you have a birthday today, you celebrate it with the likes of Prince Charles, who turns 68 today, Condoleezza Rice, who turns 62, Paul McGann, the 8th Doctor from the Doctor Who series, turns 57, Patrick Warburton, actor and famous voice of Joe Swanson from Family Guy, turns 52, Josh Duhamel, American actor who stars in the Transformer movies, turns 44, and finally, Travis Barker, Blink-182 drummer and plane crash survivor, turns 41.
Oh, and it's also International World Diabetes Day. Did you know 29.1 million people in the United States have diabetes? 8.1 million of whom may be undiagnosed and unaware of their condition. In adults 20 and older, more than 1 in every 10 people suffers from diabetes, and in seniors 65 and older, that figure rises to more than 1 in 4. 1.7 million new cases of diabetes were diagnosed in the U.S. adults in 2012, and the prevalence of type 2 diabetes is on the rise. Men are at slightly higher risk of developing diabetes than women, but age, excess weight, particularly around the waist, family history, physical inactivity, and poor diet are also significant risk factors for the illness.
Speaking about today, that leads us into our next topic on this date in history with our very own Michael Closey. Mike?
Thanks, Mike. Today in history, in 1851, Moby Dick, a novel by Herman Melville, is published. In 1918, Czechoslovakia becomes a republic. In 1922, the BBC begins radio service in the United Kingdom. In 1960, Ruby Bridges becomes the first black child to attend an all-white elementary school in Louisiana. In 1969, NASA launches Apollo 12, the second crewed mission to the surface of the moon. 1971, Mariner 9 enters orbit around Mars. In 1993, Puerto Rico votes against becoming the 51st state. In 1997, Disney's Lion King sets Broadway records of $2,700,000 daily sale. 2001, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the first film adaptation of the books of J.K. Rowling, is released starring Daniel Radcliffe. And in 2013, Boston gangster Whitey Bulger is sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms, plus 5 years, for his crimes.
I was unaware of those dates in history. Thanks, Mike.
No problem, Mike. Now let's hear from another Rent Club member, Frank Milo, with a sports update.
Thanks, Mike. My name is Frank Milo. Today is November 14th, and this is your sports update. The Boston Celtics are off to a mediocre start. Both Al Horford and Jay Crowder are injured, although Horford may play in tonight's game against the 1-9 New Orleans Pelicans. The Celtics go into the game with a record of 5-4. After 2 straight wins over the Knicks and Pacers, let's hope they can pull out a victory tonight. Switching to hockey, the Boston Bruins defeated the Colorado Avalanche last night 2-0, bringing their record to 10-6. Tuukka Rask was in net for the Bruins as he stopped all 21 shots and recorded his 3rd shutout of the year. Dave Krejci and Dominic Moore scored the goals for the Bruins, who will now play the Minnesota Wild on Thursday. And finally, the New England Patriots lost to Seattle Seahawks last night. Tom Brady was 23 for 32 and had 316 passing yards and no touchdown passes, and also threw an interception. LeGarrette Blount rushed for 69 yards and had 3 touchdown runs. The Pats will now play the San Francisco 49ers next week as they try to improve their 7-2 record. Back to you, Mike.
Thanks, Frank.
You know, Mike, here at the Renaissance Club we do a lot of work, but we also combine work with pleasure, which is where our social events come into play.
Yes, in fact, just the other day we played Name That Tune and Bingo. And this week on the 18th we're doing Clubhouse Jeopardy.
Speaking about Clubhouse, it is time with my interview with Clubhouse member Kelly Sievert. Hello and welcome to Member Spotlight. I'm Michael Donantio. Today I have Red Club member Kelly Sievert with me. Hello Kelly and welcome to the show.
Hi,
So Kelly, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm 34 years old and I'm in school currently getting my associate's degree in education. I'm hoping to be a teacher one day.
Oh, that's fantastic. We need teachers in the world today. So, how long have you been coming here at the Renaissance Club?
About 3 years now.
3 years, 3 years. And how do you like it?
I love the Red Club.
Yeah, that's good, that's good. So how did you find out about Clubhouse?
I actually found out about the clubhouse through Respite, which is a program that is used for people when they come out of the hospital before they go into group housing. It's just kind of like a layover.
Pretty interesting, pretty interesting. I know a lot of people at the Renaissance Club actually attend Respite right now, so I think that's good. It's a good program. So what do you do here at the Renaissance Club?
I like to work in the kitchen and I sell lunch tickets. Sometimes I answer phones and I pretty much do whatever anybody needs me to do.
And how would you say the Renaissance Club has been, helped you with the recovery?
They've definitely helped me come out of my shell. I'm a lot less shy than I used to be when I first got here. They've helped me get more confidence in myself to know that I could do things like go back to school.
And what about the social? Are you into social?
I love the social program. I love the trips that we take. We always have something fun going on.
And what kind of trips have you participated in the past?
The Zoo Lights, which is the Christmas lights at the Stoneham Zoo. Papoose Pond, we went camping this summer. And mostly like trips to the mall, we're going to the movies soon, things like that.
Oh. In your own words, tell us what you think Clubhouse is.
Clubhouse is definitely a place to belong. It's a second family for me. Clubhouse helps you find work, they support you, they're there for you, no matter what, in good times and bad times. I remember being sick in the hospital and members coming to visit me just to make me feel happier. It's definitely one of a kind.
It's always good to feel wanted, definitely. I overheard that you are involved with a lot of social activities. What are they about?
Well, we have a softball team that I participate in. I sing the national anthem at our annual softball game. And we do karaoke a lot. We have a coffee house, which people can perform or sing karaoke. I've participated in 3 cook-offs now. 1 I cooked and won, and 2 I was a judge in. And we do a lot of social trips. We have gone to Zoo Lights at the Stoneham Zoo. We have gone to Wolf Hollow. We've gone to Canopy Lake. We're getting ready to go to Chunky's. So we do a lot.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and I've done a few of them trips myself, and they.
Oh, I also performed at Comedy Night, which is one of our annual fundraisers.
Oh yes, Comedy Night. We're on our 13th, I think now, coming up. This is fun, and then 14th annual Bowl-a-thon's coming up in May.
And we just had our 50th anniversary gala.
Oh yes, that's right. That was
I
fantastic.
spoke there.
Yes. A lot of people spoke there. We just celebrated 50 years of Clubhouse. It's fantastic. Oh, and my final question is if Godzilla, King Kong, the Loch Ness Monster, and Bigfoot had a fight, who do you think would win?
King Kong.
King Kong? That's one for King Kong. Godzilla always gets beat out on these things. Anyways, thank you for coming to the show today. If you or someone you know lives in the Lowell area, is over 19, and is diagnosed with a mental illness, come on by to the Renaissance Club, which is located at 176 Walker Street on the 2nd floor, or call us at 978-454-7944 and ask to either speak to Elaine or Betty. Remember, Clubhouse works.
Now, let's take a look at my interview with Jim Shaw. Here we have our political expert and club member, Jim Shaw. Jim Shaw, what are your thoughts on the results of the ballot questions from this recent election?
Well, on question 1 about the slot machines, I feel like that almost looks like, or smells like, as some people refer to it, like a political favor to somebody. And maybe it wasn't a political favor to somebody, but it almost has that effect. And, you can draw your own conclusions. I mean, this is casino gambling. That's what slot machines are. Massachusetts is a small state. Developers know each other. They know people in the legislature, and friendships can evolve. And I'm not saying there's any wrongdoing here, but people know that if you approve a gambling operation for someone anywhere in the state, you're doing someone specific that you may know of who other people don't. You know that will be kind of like a favor bestowed upon them, So in all honesty, I feel that the state should be very transparent about who's getting the licenses for these slot machine parlors, and as long as the state remains on above board and transparent, I don't think there'll be any problems. But like I say, it looks like somebody will benefit who may have been expecting to benefit.
Well said. Second ballot question was about expanding charter schools.
Well, charter schools, I think the reason charter schools failed to get through the ballot, the initiative, was because a lot of people in the suburbs who already have pretty good schools were afraid that, if we start funding charter schools and if we open the floodgates to charter schools, our schools are going to be affected. And maybe that's not true. Urban schools, on the other hand, a lot of them have already been affected by budget cuts. Whenever budget cuts happen, inner city schools are feeling cuts to things like their music programs, their athletic programs, their art programs, things that are kind of seen as like a little non-essential. And so, the urban schools combined with the suburbanites who were worried about their schools, I think they kind of like came together and then ended up with a big no for charter schools this year.
And third question about improving farm animal confinements.
Well, this one, everybody loves animals.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody loves animals. Nobody wants to see animals get hurt. So that's kind of an automatic yes.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these animals are going to end up on your dinner table, but that doesn't mean we're going to treat them cruelly while they're alive. Short lives, but that's what's going to happen. They're going to be treated nicely and then eaten.
Well said. And the final question was about legalization of marijuana.
Well, it was closer. If only people who smoke marijuana voted, I think we would have seen 100% for the measure. But the thing is, you get a lot of people who aren't interested in getting high. They're interested in, will there be a pot shop in my neighborhood that disturbs my way of living? So, you got to consider that lots of different people with different interests voted for this measure, but it still came out a little over half support legalization of marijuana. I think by legalizing, I think a lot of people are hoping that we'll untangle this mess a little bit and we'll actually profit from it by taxing the sale and distribution of marijuana and marijuana products. So, it may turn out to be a good thing in terms of revenue gained. Hopefully there won't be an intrusion on people's neighborhoods, and people who use the products will stay at home and be safe when they do it.
Of course. And finally, the presidential election.
What a shocker. What a stunner. Everybody was thinking it was going to be Hillary right into the day of the election, and to say Trump stole the election, I don't think he stole the election. Some people, well, maybe just me, not just me, but I figured this guy could do it. This guy, he can do it. When he ran for the nomination, he was rolling over people, And when we got to the general election, he was always polling within the margin of error against Hillary Clinton. And the fact that he won presidency, he won it. Let me restate it. He won it even though people expected otherwise, because I think people were underestimating him. And I think the one lesson we have learned is never underestimate Donald J. Trump.
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah, and that's about all I have to say about that.
Well, it was very good talking with
Well,
you.
thank you very much.
Good to have you on the show.
All right.
Back to the studio.
Wow, the Donald Trump is our next president of the United States, and the Chicago Cubs finally won the World Series. Can you believe that? Next thing you know, pigs will start flying.
Well, that's all the time we have today. I'm Michael Closey.
And I'm Michael D'Annunzio.
Thanks for joining us once again here at Renaissance Weekly.
Remember, folks,
Life always offers you a second chance. It's called tomorrow.